Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. We have yet another format in our technology journey. So we look a little different today, but the world looks a little bit different every day. So here we are, and you are here, and I am here, and you are here, Dad.
Yep.
And we thank all of you for joining us.
Oh,
Oh, good morning. Hey,
morning.
why do we say ho and a ho, by the way, for those folks that don't know?
It's like an exclamation point of affirmation. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mhm. Yes. Celebrate life. Be here.
Yep.
Boogaloo. All of the above and more.
All of the above and more. So would you start us off with a prayer, Poppy?
Okay. I'm up in Northern California, my way up to Mendocino, so I'm not at home in Santa Barbara, and want to give thanks to the spirits, the ancestor spirits of this land here in Marin, the Pomos and Miwok, and honor the ancestor spirits of the land where you are, my home back in Santa Barbara, the Chumash, all the ancestor spirits. We wouldn't be here without you. Great Spirit, we wouldn't be here without your breath of life. So thank you for believing in us and giving us this breath of life and this opportunity to be in this amazing, mind-blowing creation that you manifested through Mother Nature. That's so beautiful and always communicating and teaching us when we listen and we're humble and pay attention to how to be with her in a way that promotes healthy life, which we've kind of gotten away from in this culture for a while, been on a little bit of a bender. So part of what the deeper understanding of what's happening with climate change and social unrest and everything that's the discord in the world and is to try to help us wake up. Remember the deepest level of our being, which is the infinite unconditional light and love that you place inside of us as sacred beings. And in this life, you give us opportunity. We give thanks for our families and our communities and these opportunities that you give us in being alive to wake up to the truth of our being and be channels for your healing light and love out into the world for the healing of the sacred hoop. And that's why you give us this day of being alive and bringing us together to join those who are listening live and those who will be listening later, to polish up our stardust, strengthen our ability to create responses to challenges that open the doorway to bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good for healing of the sacred hoop. May it be so. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, 1 second. There we go. I would like to talk about this week, based on 3 different emails we got, facing feelings of defeat. And that could be related to the presidential election. It could be related to some issue you're facing at work. It could be related to health challenge, whatever folks may be feeling or where that feeling may be coming from. But this concept of defeat. And first, could you share with us, like, what does the word defeat bring up for you?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
what comes up is that I've been knocked down by something, like a punch, a big wave, a big wind, something knocked me down, like stunned me, and I'm lying on the ground. And what I was trying to do, whatever it was, to go forward or make happen, was negated, stopped, and violently knocked me down here, flat on the ground. And so I'm in this moment of that being knocked down on the ground, feeling defeated, feeling stopped in what I was trying to do. So that's what comes up for me with defeat. And it reminds me when I was a teenager and did some training with boxing, I was told that you're going to get knocked down in life. You're going to get knocked down in the ring. You're going to get knocked down in life. But it's your decision. It's always on you whether you get up or not. And if you choose to not get up, then you're giving your power over to victimization of being in defeat and poor you or bitter you or angry you or depressed you, whatever. But it's unavoidable in this life. We're going to get knocked down and defeated, what feels like defeated. And it reminds me many years ago when I was director of a drug treatment program for primarily heroin addicts, 1970, when so many young people were coming over from Vietnam, gotten strung out, trying to deal with the horrors in Vietnam, came back to the States, and in Vietnam, heroin was easy to score, but here it wasn't, and so a lot of those people uh, had to resort to crime, and then they'd get busted, and then juvenile in the justice, quote unquote, justice system, and then some of them would be coming to this drug program that I helped start. And I was the treatment director and started I wrote up a wilderness project and then tried to get it funded to introduce it as part of the drug treatment program. Because my thinking was that rock climbing, mountaineering, whitewater river running, um, were all experiences where verbal skills and manipulation weren't going to get you out of dealing with what you needed to deal with. You had to take responsibility or suffer the physical consequences. So those dynamics I thought would be really addressing the dynamics of some of what gets people into drugs like heroin, shutting down, but also give them experience of when they did take responsibility for themselves after we taught them the skills of how to rock climb and mountaineer and all of that to succeed even when they're in a challenging situation where they're stressed out but don't have access to drugs, and so they would have an experience of accessing a strength inside of them to be able to overcome challenge and succeed rather than stay in defeat. So when I try to get write up the proposal. I've never written a proposal before, and then tried to get funding for it, and went out and sought. Finally, got help with people to write up the proposal, and then I went out to different funding sources, and I got turned down many times, and I felt defeated, and I felt like giving up, and poor me, and bitter that people couldn't see the worth of this program, and so I was angry and hurt, and that saying that the elder from the boxing world taught me years ago. Said, okay, you've been knocked down, you're defeated, all those feelings you have about it. And if you give in to them, that's the end of the project. And so I realized that I was being tested because the voice was saying to me, well, how much do you believe in the ideas of this wilderness project to help heroin addicts? Do you really believe in it? Do you have faith in it, that it's real and can make a difference in people's lives? And the answer was yes, absolutely. I know from my own experience with rock climbing and mountaineering and wilderness survival work, whitewater river running. I know from my own experience directly. It addresses those dynamics that need to be addressed to help heal from heroin. So the voice was saying, so then you got to get up off the ground. You got to pick yourself up from getting knocked down, from being defeated, and keep going forward. No matter how many times you get knocked down, pick yourself up, keep going forward with positive energy about your belief in this program. And eventually the door is going to open for you. You're going to get the funding, but you got to pick yourself up and keep going forward with positive energy. And that's exactly what happened. I did keep going, and I did get full funding for the program, and it manifested it, and it worked, and it was a big success. So that's what comes up for me with defeat.
To keep on going.
Though we're going to get knocked down, yeah, and then we have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Stay victim to the forces that knocked us down, or maybe trying to keep us down,
Mhm.
or say, no, I've got to pull up more power, access a source of maybe greater power than myself to stand back up and keep going for what I believe in. And that's certainly true in these times with those of us who feel knocked down by the results of the presidential election, triggering all kinds of reactivity, thoughts, feelings, fears, anxieties, horrible images of what could be, which may well be, all triggered by the election results and the stories that we're telling ourselves about it. And the real key question is, how are you going to respond to that? How are you going to create a skillful relationship? How might you be able to create a skillful relationship with the truth of what's happening in the field and what's been triggered inside of you? So you're not denying or running away from anything, but how can I, how can you, how can we create a response to it that, number one, grows us in strengthening those qualities of consciousness and being that we want to have be more prevalent and stronger and shinier in our lives, polishing up our stardust? And how can we work collectively and skillfully and strategically to create meaningful change that births into this world a way of being with each other and with the earth and Mother Ocean and Mother Nature and each other and all of creation, that honors life, that sustains life, and helps us meet our collective needs in a way that there's equal opportunity for everyone, equity, and the kind of world that we're capable of creating, one that's a peaceful and just and beautifully diverse and harmonious and beautiful. We can do that. We have the ability to create that. Humanity has the ability to create that. But first, we have to dream it on the inner plane and nurture it with positive intention and feelings, and then listen to guidance about how to work on the physical plane to change the institutions, political, educational, a health system, a justice system, you name it. All the systems need to change to ones that serve people instead of profits. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it makes me think of the author, poet, feminist, writer Audre Lorde, and she talked about pleasure activism and joy as part of pleasure activism and playing. I'm going to try something here with our screens, going back to that idea of fun. And hey, look at that.
oh, cool. Talk to Waddy.
Where'd you go? Now you just went away.
Well, I'd rather see Talk to Waddy than me. I like looking at you, but looking at me, I'd rather look at you and Talk to Waddy.
You see all of us? You,
Yeah,
me,
I
and
see the whole Mishpoka.
okay.
Pumpkin,
All
fall leaves, everything.
right. And the little Zoom advertisement in the top left corner.
Right, little Zoom pumpkin.
So we're just kind of bringing in some light here, literally and hopefully literally and figuratively, kind of giggling with the technology. And yes, to our friends who are much more tech savvy, and if we had known what we were going to be facing again this morning, I would have done this differently. But this is a fun way for you to see both of us at the same time. And it, again, going back to the Audre Lorde, and she just gave this, well, she wrote about and gave just incredible talk about pleasure activism and just the history that, you know, she was Black, and the history of slavery and you know, suffering and injustice, and still needing to rise every day and find some pleasure, some joy. And for me, that talk was like life-changing when I heard that talk of hers some point in the last year plus. And so thank you, Audra, for your work. And yeah, so I just want to remind everyone in defeat and in resilience, like we talk about this a lot, but the sun coming up every day, and just the ability that we have to be alive because of that. And so going out, even on the days when you just feel like I can't do it, go out there and say thank you, or send thank you to the sun for that life-giving energy.
Yeah, excuse me for interrupting, but one of the thoughts in meditation that came through was when the times get hard, get tough, and challenging, which I think there's going to be more of coming down the road, and it's important to spend more time with the sanity of nature.
Absolutely.
Sanity, wisdom, transformational power of nature. Like you said, no matter what's coming down, whatever shit hits the fan in whatever way, Father Sun comes up every day with equal amount of light and love. Sometimes it's raining or cloudy or foggy, dark, you can't see it, but with your physical eyes. But behind those clouds, there's Father Sun pumping out that energy. Every day is that rebirth of life with that energy that comes from the sun to give us our lives. Stardust. Body's made of stardust, fueled by stardust. Go out and we're whatever you can get to in nature, even if you're living in the city, go find a tree or a weed coming up through the concrete, or look up at the sky above. Try to connect with nature and open to it. Just open your senses to it. Open your feeling sense, your intuition, your eyes to see, your ears to hear. Just open to the wisdom power of nature because it's sanity. That's sanity energy. And to the extent that we're living in an insane culture and a crazy time, you might say an insane time with the way we're living, with the values of materialism and egoism and narcissism and dominating power, physical power over others, and a lot of insanity in our world. But the more insane it gets, the more time go out and spend some time with nature and just open up to her. Let her attract you as you walk down the block or you walk, in a park or out in the country or wherever you might be, or the beach or the mountains or the woods or the forest or wherever, just wherever you can connect. Go connect and just take in some of that sanity, and it will help you, especially as you take it in if you give thanks for it. Breathe down into your heart, give thanks for this, for being able to see nature, being able to hear it, being able to feel it, being able to experience nature, because that's a manifestation of the wisdom power of the universe from the Great Spirit, and it's always communicating to us, and it's always giving to us each direction that we face in the circle of life, the east, the south, the west, the north, and what's above us, what's below us. Every direction is giving us energy, is giving us medicine, the medicine wheel, giving us teachings, giving us strength, giving us guidance to help us meet those challenges of our lives in these times in a way that does open the door to bring through healing, transformational healing. So the greater the insanity gets, the more time we need to spend in nature. Oh,
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm thinking of how the sun and grandfather fire, and how right now it would just be really sweet to envision all of us. And I'm not just talking all of us on the Zoom, but all of our relatives around the world, just sitting around sacred fire in a big circle with Grandpa Fire in the middle. And so wherever you are, I just want to invite you to close your eyes for a second. And if you can, put your feet on the floor, or if you're lying down, imagine your whole body just sinking into the earth more. And take a big deep breath. And exhale. And again, feeling that breath coming first into your belly and then into your chest. And then exhale. Just do that a couple more times. Inhaling into your belly and into your chest. And exhaling. And keep up that pattern as you just envision yourself and your relatives, the faces that you know and see and love, and maybe you don't even like, but they are part of the family of our global citizenry, our web of life around a campfire together. And as you keep up that breathing pattern, just let that circle get bigger and bigger and bigger of beings, of lives around a fire. And as you inhale into your belly and chest and exhale, keeping up that breathing cycle as you start to reach your hands out. And I'd even encourage you to actually reach your hands out and envision reaching out to the people, the beings, the lives next to you. And feeling that warm fire in the center, that life-giving fire, the power of fire. Sometimes can be painful and sometimes can be life-saving. Sometimes can be life-taking. And just that whole circle around the fire of life forms and beings, all of us together working toward life in all of the different journeys and manifestations and moments, and just breathing into the trust of that and the teachings that Grandpa Fire has to offer in the center. And that breathing into your belly and then your chest And then exhaling. You can do that wherever you are when you start feeling defeated. And yet here you are with the gift of life, joining us today for Shamanic Sundays or another day of the week.
May I share a new song that came through about this?
I reckon. We have to ask our viewers, not me, and if they might, hit mute or sign off, but
Oh my
sure.
God. I'll take the risk.
Okay.
Tatewari shines its light on me. Tatewari shines its light on thee. Tatewari shine, Tatewari shine, Tatewari shine on you and me. Find your mind, polish, kind, divine. Tatewari shine, light on me. Tatewari shine, it's light on thee. Tatewari shine, Tatewari shine, Tatewari shine on you and me. Are we? Oh,
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, well, I know that you have to head out on the road soon, so you want to open your eyes, Poppy?
okay. Oh my
There you
God.
are. Hi, welcome back.
Thanks. I was in there with what that picture Tatewari is showing. And
Uh,
just to cover the base, anybody listening who doesn't know what Kimmy and I mean by Tatewari, that's a Huichol term for the spirit of the fire, grandfather fire spirit, Tatewari.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
closing out that visualization of being in the circle, allowing your hands to drop, but still keeping them open to receive and to give and send love and prayers. There's scientific proof in the power of prayer. And so let's just hold each other and all beings in that circle of prayer and love and light, and sending you good energy for the week ahead.
May it be so, and so it is. Bye, con Dios.
So, thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.